Alright, if they get Chris Pratt for Zelda. Wait, what? If they get Chris Pratt for Link, we riot. What's going on, you gorgeous individuals? Has anyone checked that on you? So this is a video I've been delaying on. I've been trying to film this like 5 times, so hopefully this is the time that sticks. So a couple weeks ago, I went to CinemaCon in Las Vegas. To quickly explain CinemaCon, CinemaCon is a convention for theater vendors and exhibitors. So talking about companies like AMC and Regal. You also have independent and larger studios basically showing their slate for all the movies. And the idea is sponsors and people involved in audio like Dolby. Basically anything that involves the theater going experience, that is what CinemaCon for. So for me, as someone who loves so as someone who loves going to the movies, obviously I had to go. And the way we got in was because of Vanessa. All she had to ask is, do you want to come to CinemaCon? And I said, you're watching the video right now. We went in as press and it was great. I know your question is, how do you go to the theater so much? And the answer is not sponsored, but listen, if you get AMC A-list, you can watch 2 movies a month. That's already cheaper than if you just bought it individually. Oh my God, no one said anything. Like unprompted, I just started speaking. You know when you do something cringe and like you're looking at it and you just don't know what to do with it? I'm there right now. Just for reference though, I don't know how coherent this whole video is gonna be. I'm gonna find out. Editing me is gonna come here and tell you if it's not good, but hey, it's editor me. This shit is ass. So here's my first time at CinemaCon. Oh wait, it was my first time in Vegas too. What the fuck? No, I'm a big Ocean's 11 fan, so me going to Vegas is a big deal. So for a first time at CinemaCon and Las Vegas. We came in absolutely late as fuck. I think it was 2 a.m. when we landed, and then we ended up in the Flamingo. Now I know Flamingo is one of the older casinos still standing. Again, the first thing that came to my mind is that scene in Ocean's 11. So then we jump into day 1. Vegas is like if The Sims built a fucking world. And you can see it. So anywhere you're in Vegas, it's so easy to get lost. The moment you enter Caesar's Palace, you don't know if you're gonna see sunlight again. I never thought I'd say this, but Percy Jackson makes so much sense right now. But it was welcoming because I've been wearing coats for a fucking eternity. So the moment you enter the CinemaCon area, there's just a bunch of posters. So it's fun. I filmed a little reel there. I have a question. If Tom Cruise inevitably dies in this movie, is it at the end of cinema? This is like a Sophie's choice. You know, July is when I died. So one thing I did for day 1, one of the first panels I saw was navigating Gen Z trends, which is less interesting. To be honest, it's clearly targeted towards, not me. A lot of buzzwords that feel like they don't necessarily apply. The second part was more interesting because that surrounded Coca-Cola's Refreshing Films program, which is the whole thing of taking young filmmakers and giving them the resources that they can to do something of industry standard. I found that really interesting as someone who gets a lot of joy out of filming. Not these, I hate you, but overall it was just nice because there are still filmmakers, there are still people putting out visions, and I don't know, it's a nice thing to have. And so for opening night, we had Sony Pictures Entertainment present a bunch of things. I wrote it all down. Hold on. I'm just gonna talk about the stuff that interested me. We saw some things for 28 Days Later, The Bone Temple by Nia DaCosta. It looks like they're trying to build out more for the 28 Years universe. That one I'm really excited for because if you've seen Candyman, fucking perfect. The Beyond the Spider-Verse teaser was shown. Well, what interested me was the director said they're gonna come out with a new style, a new animation, and I feel like you see some of that in the teaser. There's just so much riding on this. I really hope it's good. Just know that I'm a sucker for it, but I have the fucking book right here. Darren Aronofsky's Caught Stealing, that trailer I really enjoyed. He said it is a love letter to New York, so I'm curious how, with his kind of storytelling, how he's gonna put it out there, but the trailer is super funny and raunchy. And then Kogonada's A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey is a trailer that I feel like it's one of those things that if people were in that same situation, they would dread. The idea of going back to your past and trying to face certain situations that you can't really deal with. I'm really excited about that because Colin Farrell, Margot Robbie, it's a great cast. I love the color palette too. So then they announced a few things. One of my highlights was Clara and the Sun, which is a book that I've read, and I know Taika Waititi is involved with that. Overall, I like his stuff. I just hope that they dig into a lot of the things that book covers. And they talked about the Zelda movie that's gonna come out. That is terrifying to me. Like, Minecraft came out and that shit went crazy. Can you imagine if a Zelda movie came, like the Super Mario movie came out? Like, how the fuck do they think they're gonna keep on with it? I don't know. It's a soft spot for me, but Karate Kid Legends looks really cool, and I'm really excited for that one as well. It's still a shame that they're not gonna acknowledge Cobra Kai. Then finally, for Spider-Man 4, aka Spider-Man: A Brand New Day, as it was announced. New font, new everything. The director, Destin Daniel Cretton, who's done incredible work. I know everyone always talks about Shang-Chi, but he's done better shit. He's saying they're trying to figure out swinging, which I don't know if that means they're gonna change the CGI thing and make it more practical. And then the thing that surprised everyone was Sam Mendes came and said that they were gonna put out 4 Beatles films. 4 is crazy, but again, the expectation is you're gonna do it over several years, but they're putting 4 movies out about each member the same month. But then they brought out the gang, and I think it's fitting that they picked a bunch of heartthrobs to play the Beatles because that's what they were for their time. I think it's super interesting because if they do it right, it can be incredible. Each studio tries to one-up each other and try to figure out what the next thing is. Marvel's responsible for everything being a cinematic universe. I fucking hate that. Oh my god. But again, you're targeting multiple generations, which I think is such a smart move. Like, my mom is a fan of the Beatles. It was huge when it came out, and she was nowhere near the UK. So I'm curious how they're gonna bridge that out for the theater experience. Now for day 2, I'm gonna let myself take this. Would you look at the time? Oh my god, it's day 2 of CinemaCon. To kick off this morning, Neon, responsible for Ahora and Parasite, both Best Pictures, released 2 trailers that I really enjoyed. One of them being The Life of Chuck, Tom Hiddleston, based on a short story by Stephen King. The one that I like is the codependency horror thriller Together. Dave Franco and Alison Brie. That one looks really nice. I love all the stuff that Neon comes out with, so I'm really excited for that. Wait a minute, there is more. I'm sorry, I just had that in my drafts and I figured I'd use it, but like I said, there was more. So Lionsgate came out and was like, hey, you know, you like that gun-toting dude who has a dog who died? Yeah, we're making that into a whole fucking universe. They showed footage for Ballerina, and I think the fight scenes looks incredible to me. It is a movie I'm really excited for. And we got a John Wick animated prequel. This is like going into the Joker. Like, do I need a origin story for John Wick? Also, they're doing John Wick 5. How? Francis Lawrence came out to present The Long Walk. Speaking of which, someone has to check in on Stephen King, because how are all these studios adapting all of his stuff? I haven't seen much of David Johnson except in Alien Romulus. He's easily the best part of that movie, so I feel like that's a good enough reason for me to watch it. And of course, Mark Hamill's there, the Joker himself. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. They finally called the third one that title. My god, it's directed by the dude who did Venom and Uncharted. If it's good, it's good. I mean, I just want a fun movie. Now You See Me movies, for me, I don't know, it's fun. I like it. There's also Hunger Games stuff coming out. How? What still? And then we got The Housemaid, which I found very interesting. I know nothing about it, but apparently the books are really amazing. It has Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried. Amanda talks about how her role was life affirming and career affirming. Amanda Seyfried has been in so many movies. How crazy is this? Also, Sydney Sweeney hints at the moral ambiguity and stuff. Before I continue this though, I have to bring up, hold on, what's his name? So Paul Feig is the director. Paul Feig, and I think it was the CEO or whoever runs Lionsgate. I don't know, they were acting so weird around Sydney and Amanda. It made me so fucking uncomfortable. They were grown fucking men who kept bringing up how attractive they were, and I don't know, I just watched that and I kept fucking cringing. And I was there in person, like, I don't even know what to do in that scenario. But then I think the one that was very interesting for me was Hurry Up Tomorrow, which, if anyone's familiar, it's The Weeknd's album, which I think accompanies this movie that's being made. It was described as a singular, visceral, cinematic experience, which I think is such a interesting way of putting it. Jenna Ortega, Barry Keoghan, they seem like they're very deep into it, and I know The Weeknd's in there, but the look of it looked very interesting to me, so I'm very curious how they're gonna present that. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention The Weeknd showed up. He did a Hurry Up Tomorrow song, I forgot what it's called, and the Blinding Lights at Lionsgate. Really? So then we're on to the Warner Brothers panel. Some of the most awkward interactions that I found during a panel. I recorded this before watching Sinners, and I do want to mention that Sinners is one of those that I feel like played such a cultural impact when it came to going to the movies. People I know who don't even go to the movies saw this shit in IMAX. And I think it's crazy for Warner Brothers, who, as they were reading out the cast list, they said those were the hard names. I don't know what that means. And look, I can't speak for the working partnership, but I feel like it does say something that they didn't rep this movie as much as they probably should have right before its release. They showed footage for one battle after another with Leonardo DiCaprio. He was on stage too. Regina Hall and Tiana Taylor were also there. They weren't in the preview, but they're in the movie. Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride looked incredible. I love how like gritty and just like gothic it looks. There's something about the Frankenstein story that I feel like in the past few years they haven't found a good way to depict him, and I feel like Christian Bale in the role really, I think they're really gonna sell that. And the one that surprised me the most, I'll be honest, was Final Destination Bloodlines. It felt like the first one where it has that humor that's usually in Final Destination movies, but it also comes with the gore that comes with it. So it felt like classic horror, but in a modern lens. And I think I really enjoyed what they showed us. There was the type of deaths that happened in here was just, I forgot to mention this, the weapons trailer is one of those that we saw that we were really impressed by the concept, and feels like it's going to play into certain themes that are relevant to the current society that we live in, while also being a spin on the horror genre. I think that's going to be a great one. And for my F1 fans, we did see the first 10 minutes and it did look cool. It's like classic 80s kind of thing. And yeah, I really enjoy that. I'm not a big F1 person myself, but I mean, I found it very enjoyable. And then some of the animation stuff was fun. Like Cat in the Hat was fun. If you're anything like me, you've seen the original Mike Myers one. That one's so far from the version that they show with Bill Hader. But I do love the art style that they're going with. I like how it's not like the realistic. It seems like it plays a lot with light and atmosphere, and it seems very childlike. I think that's perfect. And of course, the big boy, my one and only, they showed Superman, and they brought out just, you know, the finest cast ever. You know, they were just shooting the shit and just telling us a lot of really great stuff, and it feels like classic Superman. And there's something about the 60s comics that I feel like this is so reminiscent of. You've already seen the preview. There's a small part that's not in there where he's talking to Crypto and just trying to like let him settle and shit, that I think is really good. Overall, I'm just really excited for Superman. I think there's so much going for this, and I think it can really set a tone for how we display heroes or how we display just goodness in the modern industry instead of conflating it as Boy Scouty. I think Superman really has that power to it. And you know, Crypto the super dog, it's fucking incredible. You know the animated theme. I mean, I could sing it to you, but I don't want your ears to bleed. So then there was a party in the evening. Fandango has been celebrating their 25th anniversary, so they've been doing a lot of events and a lot of special promo for it. Again, it's been really nice to talk to different people within the press area. Some people seem incredibly jaded, as I understand that they are, but I'm still in the stage where all this is cool to me. Like I'm still gonna enjoy it while I'm there. So for the next day, I didn't see anything from Angel Studios. Oh fuck. Universal Pictures and DreamWorks was next, and they showed the full movie too. How to Train Your Dragon, the live action. I don't know if it's because it's been a long time since I've seen the original, because it's such a part of my childhood, or Disney comes out with the fucking worst live action movies, but I left this knowing that I was gonna watch it in theaters again. I think given that it's a live action movie, they really play into the benefits of doing that, like showing how visceral some of the action can be, some of the movements, some of the flights. We were cheering in some parts, like, and again, you're presenting it not to the average audience, you're showing it to theater exhibitors, press, you're talking to vendors. These are people who watch movies, and we had a good time. So I'm really excited that that's coming out. I think them bringing back the original director is why that's going to be so successful. So what else did I do after that? Oh, I know. So within CinemaCon, they have these trade shows. From what I can tell, it's different vendors, companies, people who are involved within the industry who are trying to connect with other people, sell them to other exhibitors, other theater people who may want to utilize that. So they had stuff for popcorn and snacks and merchandise and seats and fucking color correction and HDR. Whatever I'm showing in my footage, it's probably not everything, but it was a lot of it. Dolby, Coca-Cola, they had a huge fucking venue there. I was able to talk to some of the exhibitors there, one of them being Onni Creative. I really like this design, just great people to talk to as well. This isn't sponsored, by the way, I just want to do this. Onni Creative is a women and minority-owned organization that's specialized in digital media marketing, printing and design services, basically anything that's involved in marketing. They've worked with so many top brands, it's kind of fucking insane. They work behind the scenes for entertainment productions. I always think it's important because their mission is to work with underrepresented creators. Onni Creative, please check them out. I have a link in the description. They gave us so many goodies, so please check them out. But enough of that fucking popcorn eating. Universal Pictures and Focus Features were next on the docket. Where's Matt Murdock when I need him?
He's really stuck on pro.
Now, of the things that surprised me, one of them was that Jurassic World Rebirth was filmed in Thailand, like in person. The director said that they wanted as much as they could capture on film that they could, and I think when you see the trailer it really shows. But it's crazy given the cast that's there and the reputation of the Jurassic World universe that I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I think the one that I'm excited for the most was him, which stars Tyreek Withers and Marlon Wayans. Seeing the trailer and seeing how intense Marlon Wayans is such a weird feeling, because when you think of the Wayans brothers, I don't think you think of any of the stuff that's in that trailer. Again, it looks incredibly acted, incredibly shot. I think Monkey Paw just reminds us that they are here to make great films. Nobody 2, Phoenician Scheme, Begonia. I liked all those trailers. There's not a lot for me to say about it because I don't know much about it, but I am excited for those. They showed stuff for Megan 2 and they showed stuff for Soulmate, but the one that got me was the Black Phone 2. I didn't, most of the time with horror sequels, I'm not super hopeful about it, but the way that the trailer is structured and the way that the tone is, I feel like it has the ability to be just as good. Oh my god, I almost forgot. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 also had a trailer, and for me, I'm not a huge fan of the movie, but I will see the sequel. And then to close for a third year in a row, Universal Pictures showed a preview for Wicked for Good. Something has changed within. If you exist in the world, like, come on, you gotta watch it. Come on. Oh my god, I almost forgot this. They had Ricky Minor conduct an orchestra for the entire Universal Pictures presentation, which for me, if you know anything about me, you know that I care about music. So Ricky Minor conducted some incredibly iconic themes with a 43-piece orchestra. They brought an orchestra for a film slate. That's fucking awesome. I feel like anytime you have live music in a scenario, it elevates it immediately. So I think generally everyone was in good spirits because of that. Also, Ricky Minor is a fucking legend, so I mean, you gotta appreciate that. So just imagine they played Back to the Future, they played E.T., they played Wicked, they played fucking Jurassic Park. I know I forgot to acknowledge DreamWorks Animation and all the stuff that they're working on.
Only in theaters, Christmas 2026.
And then after we all got drunk, I wish there was a good segue, there isn't. Amazon and MGM Studios presented their slate, which is funny because you're wondering, why does Amazon need to present anything? So you don't know, Amazon MGM announced that they would release 12 to 14 movies theatrically, which if you don't know, Amazon hasn't had a lot of experience in. Their slate was interesting. I mean, it wasn't familiar IPs. It's mostly based on book titles or some kind of original concept. The ones they did have was Masters of the Universe, which personally I don't know too much about, so I don't want to act like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, I don't know. But yeah, Hugh Jackman's in a Sheep Detective movie. What does that look like? They also showed stuff for Accountant 2, which I don't want to move the camera. I'll take a pic though. The two that interested me are things that don't interest you, by the way. One being Verity with Dakota Johnson and Anne Hathaway. Josh Hartnett is also in it, and it seems like it's like kind of like a sexy thriller to it. And then the other one was After the Hunt, which my beloved Andrew Garfield is in. Also, my beloved Ayo Edebiri is also in it. Luca Guadagnino, I think, is an incredible director, so that movie seems heavy, and I feel like that's the type of director to tackle something like that, and I feel like the cast also plays in part as well. Julia Roberts is also in there. It seems like it's just going to be a packed slate. Overall, I feel like if Amazon really wanted to set the stage, they could have announced a James Bond, which they didn't. Which maybe that feels like gimmicky, but if you're trying to compete with other studios, that's what you'll have to do. Those are the two that concern me. Again, you can check out their whole slate somewhere online. Just know that I'm not going to give them. Speaking of Julia Roberts, I figured it was a good idea while I was in Vegas to check out a lot of the Ocean's 11 locations, because me being a film lover at my soul, you know I had to check it. Come on. So here's an edit, Ocean's 11 style. That editor in me is gonna have to figure out, oh my god, how the fuck is he gonna do? I think this is where Rusty is talking to Terry in the movie. I have no way to confirm that, except I think that's the case. Listen, I made that Comic-Con video and I didn't think it was going to take that long. It was a 19-minute video. Holy God. If this video ends up being 19 minutes, just listen, like, I lived a long life. Like, I hope you like that edit. It took a lot of work, I think. I'm not sure, I haven't done it. Hey, good job, me. Last day at CinemaCon, baby. Let's let it rock. Now we're here, final day for the company that basically sets the stage when it comes to the film experience. What I mean by that is they signed a deal with Tom Cruise to basically be like, hey, risk your life as much as you can for the audience. That being said, the Paramount Pictures presentation was interesting, and they had fucking bikers on ramps in a theater. Now this was interesting because they presented movies that I didn't know I would be really interested in, but I am. One of them that I'm really excited for, even more than Mission Impossible if I'm being honest, is The Running Man with Glenn Powell, Coleman Domingo, Josh Brolin, directed by Edgar Wright. It has that Edgar Wright sheen to it that I love, and there's like it seems like there's an actual feel, and I feel like Coleman Domingo really plays that eccentric part, but also like it looks amazing. The other one that surprised me was The Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. Other than that one episode of Atlanta, I never thought of Liam Neeson as like a particularly funny character. Oh yeah, he did that scene in Ted 2 also. That's pretty funny. But I was crying laughing in the theaters. Like, it was one of those I didn't think would be funny, but they really found a way to have fun with it. And then I think above all else, Tom Cruise did a long speech about McHugh, aka Christopher McQuarrie, as they presented him with an award, basically saying that he helped them get through a lot of the writing process of Ghost Protocol and was a big factor for the rest. I don't know, it was just so interesting seeing Tom Cruise give a speech, and you could tell he's super dedicated in what he's talking about. I still think he's crazy, but I think you have to be doing the things that he does. The thing that got me was he acknowledged Val Kilmer's passing, and he said he wanted everyone to take a moment of silence. And we took a silence. I don't know, I feel like Val Kilmer, even with his problems, I feel like is someone who doesn't get acknowledged as much. So it's just nice for Tom Cruise to bring it up, you know, in front of moviegoers. Like, I feel like that's the perfect place to mention that. So listen, like, mad respect for that. And then yeah, they released the Final Reckoning trailer, which looks crazy. Tom Cruise might be training for a mission that we don't even know he's on. I'm talking about Tom, not Ethan Hunt. So then after that, they had a luncheon with the Running Man crew. I found it super interesting as someone who is independently interested in all those people. I apologize for the shitty pictures. I need to change my lens. My shit looked like 2006 Nikon. It's unfortunate. And then we got to really the only studio that let us take pictures, and that is the movie conglomerate that is Walt Disney Studios. And again, a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about has already been out. We had Thunderbolts cast that came out, showed a trailer. Listen, I really like Thunderbolts. We saw a glimpse at Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four trailer, which to me, I feel like is the best way that they could have done it. Now, what they presented, I'm looking forward to a lot of it. If you think I'm not excited for Freakier Friday, you're fucking crazy. Tron Ares, I also didn't know that Tron is coming to the real world, and that's the plot of Ares, I guess. I still think Jared Leto is a fucking weirdo, but the movie looks really good. So Predator Badlands looks incredible. I have reservations about the Predator being a good guy, but I don't know, maybe they'll change up how it is and I'll enjoy it. I'm not sure, because here's the thing, I love Prey, I just do. So I hope, I mean, it's the same director, I hope it's at least somewhat similar, because if it's not. Ella McKay, I don't know much about, but I like the cast. The Roses trailer, I think, really got me. That's a movie I'm probably definitely gonna see. I don't know, it has the angst of just the whole, you know, relationship situation and all that. And then the one and only Amelia Perez herself, Zoe Saldana. Sorry, I couldn't even do that. Highly acclaimed actress. Like, I don't know, Zoe Saldana is incredible. She went on to present Elio, which I think looks like a lot of fun. But the thing that really got me was Zoolander 2. They showed 2 clips from Zoolander 2, and I thought it was really funny. Going in, I'm not a huge fan of sequels, but Ke Huy Quan talked a little bit about it. Also, Quinta Brunson voices one of the characters in the sequence, so I think it was just really well executed. But then the motherlode, Avatar, and there's a few things I gotta say. One, the Ash people have fucking drip. Oh my god, I think the design for them looks incredible. I think the footage just shows like this is Jim Cameron's baby, like genuinely. They gave us fucking 3D glasses to watch it. But anyways, Avatar, Fire and Ash, that is one of those I'm so excited to watch. And honestly, what a great way to end. Ultimately, I feel like out of all of them, Avatar was the one that really pushed it over for me. I think in terms of who had the best presentation for me, pulling out The Weeknd is fucking crazy, but that's kind of the only non-awkward part of that presentation. I think my order might be Sony, then Lionsgate, Then Disney. It's hard because Disney is so fucking packed with stuff. Like, how do you do that? But I don't think Disney was the best. I'll be honest, WB was pretty low on, if you compare it to a lot of the other ones. I think there was just more consistency and more variety in what they were talking about. And it was weird because Warner Brothers is also coming out with Sinners, and that's a big deal because Ryan Coogler is one of the first black directors to put it in the IMAX format, and it being 70mm is a format that not a lot of directors have done, period. And the fact that in a presentation about the movie going experience that Warner Brothers didn't bring that up is something I have a big problem with. But Warner Brothers is also the same people that only keeps their movies in theaters for a month, so I don't want to say I'm surprised, but the Superman stuff is always a welcome, so probably Warner Brothers. And then last is Amazon, because despite having an interesting slate, there didn't feel like there was a lot of momentum. So that's how we closed out all the studio presentations. This is the lightning round. This is all the stuff I got. I don't like this movie, but listen, Red Hulk, that's my boy. That's my boy. Hey, listen, cover your eyes. Onni Creative gave us these incredible popcorn buckets. I love the design of it. Like I have these out. Like, I'm holding a Mario thing. I don't have any shrooms though. The fuck? Oh, I forgot there's more. I completely forgot. This is my badge. Fuck. Got a hat. Like a glove. Look at this Sinners shirt. I already wore this, but I'm wearing this at the premiere. Anyway, Sinners is incredible. Whoa, wait, look at that. Oh my god. I have a Mission Impossible shirt somewhere. It's probably among the wreckage. Oh my god, I didn't even show. This is a Wicked bag. They gave us a Wicked bag. Oh yeah, I started seeing the Thunderbolts thing too. I mean, we got this in the convention. It's not a cereal box. It had popcorn in it. It's a popcorn box. And then we got to Big Screen Achievement Awards, which the people that they had that accepted the awards surprised me. They had Glenn Powell, Channing Tatum, Ana de Armas, Lindsay Lohan, Mark Ruffalo, Cheech and Chong, fucking David Johnson. They have Madeline McCraw, Ben Wong. It's just so interesting going to these because obviously I've seen them on the screen, so seeing them in person is just such a surreal feeling. You're like, oh yeah, oh no, all right, okay. And then after that, well, we had a lot of fun. Listen, if you can't bet in Vegas, fucking drink. What are you doing?
I can smoke already so hard in my blunt is. I see fast pretty faces, so I got trouble trusting.
And then after all the festivities, I almost missed my flight. I was the last person who arrived at the gate, and they're like, hey, you know, like the airport's closed, and I'm like, yeah, but I have a flight now, dude. What do you want me to do? But anyways, what a drunken way to end the week. I'm gonna give a big shout out to the crew that I was with during the whole stint of CinemaCon. The great thing about stuff like this is there's always something to talk about with the movie stuff, but everyone is from different walks of life and have their own journey when it comes to the industry and what they want to do. And I don't know, I just met a lot of great people, so appreciate that. But also real quick, shout out Jedi Mike, shout out Vanessa for helping me through the whole process of CinemaCon and also facilitating a lot of conversations that maybe I couldn't have had myself. They're just fucking sweethearts, so you know, please check them out. Now, could I compare this to San Diego Comic-Con? I don't think I could, because I think above everything, Comic-Con is meant for the fans, you know, cosplayers, collectors, people who are really involved in geek fandom. I think CinemaCon is a lot more my speed because I'm so interested in the movie theater experience and pushing that out. I also like getting these sneak previews to all these movies that I may or may not watch, but at the very least, I am excited for, and seeing evidence of it just fuels your excitement more. And it was just an interesting experience, and for people who are interested in the movie going experience and our theater exhibitors, I feel like this is the perfect place for you, because those things that you're looking forward to, they're gonna talk about it. Lionsgate, you dropped the ball. How did you not put out anything for the Michael Jackson movie? Like, there's some ways you just hit the goal, and then there's some things you just don't do. Like, what the fuck? I think as a whole, it gave me a better appreciation for the industry, and for that, I'll always be grateful. And again, appreciate Andy from Multiverse of Color for connecting me. I feel like in a lot of ways, it validates the fact that I have a YouTube channel, because if I didn't have this, I don't know if I could have gone. Like, people wouldn't know who the fuck I am. And listen, it's only up from here, and I'm excited what comes next. Also, for all the pictures that I took, I do have a post that's in the description that you can check out. If you think I'm gonna put like 20 tags in this video, you're a fucking fool. I'm gonna make you do the long walk, you motherfucker. But listen, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. We have a new set. Oh my fuck. We have a new setup now, which means we're back, baby. We're coming out with so many videos, churning them out like fucking Ben and Jerry's. I'm hoping to put out more conversational stuff in the future. If you like stuff like this, hopefully I can make more of this. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a bitch to edit. Oh my god, like. But anyways, if you've been to CinemaCon or haven't, what do you think of the slate? Is there another convention maybe I should check out? Real quick, I finally started updating the Patreon, so please check that out. I just 100%ed Spider-Man 2, which I streamed the whole thing on Twitch, so you can check that out as well. Oh, what the fuck? Oh my god. MJ, go get him, Tiger. I hope everyone has a pleasant night. Daredevil's over, Severance is over. What the fuck is on now?
Hi, Charlize.
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay.